Get ready, folks. Doug Christie has been taken into custody. But hold on, because you won't believe the shocking accusations they're throwing at him this time. This isn't your run-of-the-mill arrest, oh no. It's the kind of scandal that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about Hollywood's high society. Is this arrest truly tied to his illegal activities, or could there be something far darker lurking beneath the surface? Did Jackie Christie see this coming? And why does this arrest feel like just the beginning of something much larger? The drama is only starting to unfold, and the courtroom is about to get heated. Things are absolutely wild right now, and the truth? Well, it's not just shocking, it's downright mind-blowing. Can we even believe the narrative being spun about Doug Christie's sudden fall from grace? Or is there someone orchestrating this from the shadows? Here's the real kicker. What if Doug's arrest is just the tip of the iceberg, and there's a much bigger conspiracy at play? Could some major players be headed for the same fate, with a few surprising victims caught? In the crossfire? Trust me, you'll want to stick around because this story is only going to spiral further into madness. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on tight because what's unfolding right now is a bombshell. A scandal years in the making has just exploded. Doug Christie, yes, the same Doug Christie who's managed to avoid controversy for decades, is now at the center of one of the most jaw-dropping arrests in recent history. But here's the twist. What if this arrest isn't even the worst part? What if the truth goes much deeper? Into murky waters no one ever anticipated. Now, if you've been out of the loop, let me fill you in. Doug Christie isn't just any celebrity. He's been the face of a brand, the star of his own TV show, and crafted a public image built on one thing: the bad boy with a heart of gold persona. But here's the thing about people like Doug Christie. The more flawless the public image, the more secrets they're hiding. And trust me, what's about to come to light will leave you speechless. Let's rewind a bit. Doug Christie's rise to fame was nothing short of a spectacle. He was the guy everyone loved to hate, yet couldn't look away from. With his bad boy charm, the I don't care attitude, and a talent for landing in trouble, but always managing to wriggle out, Doug was like a living, breathing soap opera, full of drama, tension, and endless scandals. But no matter how chaotic things got, Doug always seemed to come out on top. Was it sheer luck, or was there something more behind his resilience? Well, as we now see, that luck might have finally run out. The arrest that just went down wasn't your average celebrity mishap. This is not. No, this is the big one. The details are still unclear, and the authorities aren't exactly handing us the full story. But here's what we do know. Doug Christie has been arrested, and the charges? They don't look promising. This isn't just a random incident. It's the result of years of shady dealings, questionable connections, and a past that's finally caught up with him. But hold on, let's not jump ahead. Who exactly is tangled up in all of this? Well, of course, the man of the hour, Doug Christie. But let's dig a little deeper. There's someone else who stands to gain a lot from this scandal. Someone who's been right by Doug's side, co-conspirator or not. His wife, Jackie Christie. This story isn't just about Doug anymore. It's about a family empire built on secrets, manipulation, and possibly criminal activity. Jackie has been in the spotlight just as long as Doug. She's the woman always seen by his side, the one who laughs it off while Doug plays the villain. But what if she's not just the supportive wife? Sure, but what if she's been more entangled in the darker side of things than we ever imagined? The moment Doug's arrest made headlines, questions about Jackie's involvement began to surface. What did she know? What's her link to Doug's criminal past? Think about it. The Christies have stuck together through thick and thin, always smiling for the cameras, presenting themselves as this flawless couple. But as we dig deeper, the cracks are starting to appear. In fact, it wouldn't be a shock if Jackie Christie herself is just as deeply involved as Doug, in this web of deceit as Doug, maybe even more so. After all, who would know the skeletons in Doug's closet better than the woman who's been by his side through it all? Now, let's talk about why this arrest is so crucial. Doug Christie's arrest isn't just about one man's fall from grace. Oh no, my friends. This is about uncovering a system, one that's allowed people like Doug and Jackie Christie to operate in the shadows, getting away with whatever they pleased, thanks to their fame and connections. This arrest is just the beginning. Much bigger story. What if Doug Christie wasn't just breaking the law on his own? What if he was part of a larger network of shady figures, pulling the strings from behind the scenes? Here's what's got us scratching our heads. Why now? Why is this happening at this exact moment? There's no denying Doug has been in hot water before, but his past arrests were nothing like this. So, what's different now? Could it be that someone's finally had enough of the dirty games he's been playing? Maybe it's someone from within his circle decided they'd had enough and blew the whistle on him? Or maybe, just maybe, Doug's past is catching up with him, and the walls are finally closing in. As the investigation unfolds, new details are starting to surface. It's been reported that Doug Christie has been linked to some questionable financial dealings, some of which could be tied to organized crime. And remember, we're only scratching the surface here. These revelations aren't coming from mainstream media. They're coming from anonymous sources within law enforcement, who claim that Doug Christie's criminal activity goes far deeper than anything we've seen on the surface. Money laundering, bribery, illegal deals, the list keeps growing. And with every new piece of the puzzle that falls into place, it's starting to feel like the truth could be even darker than we ever imagined. Now, I know what you're thinking. Could this really be true? Could Doug Christie, the man who's been the face of an entire brand, really be involved in something this nefarious? Well, folks, when you follow the trail of crumbs long enough, it leads you to places you never thought possible. The truth isn't always what it seems. And in Doug Christie's case, the truth could be far worse than we've been led to believe. But here's the most shocking part of all. Doug Christie isn't even the biggest fish in this corrupt pond. No. The biggest question that remains is who's pulling the strings? Who's really behind all of this? What if Doug Christie isn't the mastermind at all? What if he's just a puppet in a much larger game? And what if the real villains have been hiding in plain sight all along, using Doug as their pawn to carry out their dirty work? I know it sounds insane, but we're about to connect the dots in a way that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the Christies. Stay with us, because the truth is far more twisted than we could have ever imagined. The real story? It's just getting started, and we haven't even begun to scratch the surface. So, we've established that Doug Christie's arrest isn't some small-time incident. No, this is a full-blown crisis that has the potential to tear apart everything he's built. But we're just getting started, folks. Now, let's dive deeper into the dirty details that are emerging, things that no one, and I mean no one, is talking about. Brace yourselves, because this scandal is about to take a turn you never saw coming. As we dig deeper into the investigative reports, the picture gets even darker. Leaked documents reveal that Doug Christie has been living a double life for years, all while playing the charming bad boy in the public eye. On the surface, he's the man who catches criminals, always one step ahead of the law and a hero for his fans. But behind closed doors, he's been living a life filled with corruption, deceit, and illegal deals that could bring down his entire empire. Now let's talk about his spending habits. Actually, let's call it what it is: extravagant spending. How did a man who supposedly made his fortune from hunting down criminals end up living like royalty? Sources close to the investigation have revealed that Doug Christie's assets don't just come from his TV show or book deals. Oh no, there are other, less visible streams of income that have gone unchecked for far too long. Some reports suggest that Christie's business dealings in the underground world could involve money laundering and possibly even bribery from shady figures in the criminal underworld. But don't just take my word for it. Multiple anonymous sources have pointed to ties between Doug and notorious criminal organizations, hinting that his good guy persona is nothing more than a carefully crafted act. Now, you have to ask yourself, how much of this is really a coincidence? Could it be that Doug Christie, the man who's built an entire empire on being the good guy, is actually knee-deep in a criminal network? This is where the real investigation begins to unravel, and trust me, it's getting ugly. Reports are now surfacing that Doug Christie's arrest might have been a long time coming. According to an insider, authorities have been watching him for years, waiting for the perfect moment to move in. But what was the tipping point? Was there a deal gone wrong? A risky business venture that finally blew up in his face? Sources are pointing to one of the key Figures behind Doug's downfall is none other than his wife, Jackie Christie. But what role did she play in all of this? Jackie has stood by Doug's side through thick and thin, and it turns out her involvement might be far more significant than anyone realized. Behind closed doors, Jackie is rumored to have been the mastermind behind some of Doug's most profitable business ventures. Industry insiders claim that Jackie played a key role in securing secretive partnerships, possibly with individuals on the wrong side of the law. Could it be that dangerous players in the game? Could Jackie have known about Doug's shady dealings all along? Or was she simply playing a role in his grand scheme? Either way, her involvement is now raising some serious red flags. But here's the twist. This isn't just about Doug Christie and Jackie anymore. This is about a network, a web of corruption, and it's spreading far beyond the Christies. The investigation has uncovered connections to other high-profile figures who haven't been named yet. But insiders are hinting that the Christie duo isn't working alone. No, they've been rubbing elbows with some of the most dangerous people in the business, individuals who are willing to protect their interests at any cost. We're talking about people in positions of power, the kind who can make or break careers with a single phone call. And now, with Doug Christie at the heart of this tangled web, you have to ask, who else is going down with him? But here's where things get even more twisted. As the investigation unfolds, the question on everyone's mind is, what exactly did the Christies do to land themselves in this mess? And more importantly, who's pulling the strings behind them? The documents we've seen so far suggest that they weren't just the perpetrators. They were pawns in a much larger game. And the question remains, who's the puppet master? Rumors have been swirling about a mysterious figure who may be responsible for orchestrating some of Doug Christie's most questionable decisions. This individual, whose identity is still under wraps, has been connected to a series of shady business ventures involving both Doug and Jackie. And as more documents leak, it's becoming clearer that this mysterious figure may be far more dangerous than the Christies ever were. Could it be that Doug Christie wasn't the mastermind at all? Could he just be a small cog in a much larger machine? I know it sounds like something out of a spy thriller, but trust me, this is no fiction. We're talking about a real-life conspiracy unfolding right before our eyes, and it's about to get explosive. The authorities are now investigating whether Doug Christie was being used as a pawn in a far-reaching criminal operation. His good guy image was the perfect cover for far darker deeds. So if Doug thought he was in the clear, he's gravely mistaken. As more leaks emerge, we're hearing about financial records, transactions that don't quite add up, and investments that seem suspiciously linked to the criminal underworld. Let's not forget, Doug Christie's wealth didn't just come from his TV career. There's a lot more to this story than what meets the eye. And now, as investigators start to piece everything together, it's becoming clearer that Doug's empire was built on a foundation of lies, deceit, and serious illegal activity. But it's not just about what happened in the past. It's about what's unfolding right now. The scandal is wreaking havoc on Doug Christie's brand, his reputation, and most importantly, his wallet. As the public learns more about his criminal ties, his endorsements are pulling out, his fan base is turning on him, and his network is falling apart. There's talk of bankruptcies, lawsuits, and even the possibility of a major financial collapse that could the Christie empire for good. Now that we've peeled back the layers and exposed the corruption, the lies, and the scandalous actions, it's time to discuss what happens when the dust settles. Or, in this case, when the walls start closing in. This is where the real chaos begins. The legal, financial, and personal consequences of Doug Christie's arrest are coming to light. And trust me, it's as intense as you can imagine. This entire situation has taken a turn no one could have predicted, and the aftermath is unfolding with jaw-dropping speed. First, take a step back and look at the legal landscape. Doug Christie's arrest has shaken the very foundation of his so-called empire. The charges he's facing are no small-time offenses: money laundering, fraud, and racketeering on a massive scale. The authorities aren't just going after him, they're targeting everyone involved in his operation. That means multiple investigations, not just on Doug, but on his network of associates, friends, and even family members who may have been helping him cover his tracks. And let's not forget about his wife, Jackie Christie. As much as she tries to distance herself. It's clear her name is now being dragged through the mud. It's safe to say the Christies' once gilded lifestyle is now in ruins. Their lavish homes, private jets, designer clothes, all of it is being questioned, dissected, and scrutinized. Investigators have already started seizing assets, freezing bank accounts, and raiding properties. And this is just the beginning of their downfall. As more and more information comes to light, their world is rapidly crumbling. The kind of money they once threw around like it was nothing is now under close investigation. How did they afford it all? Where was the real money coming from? And most importantly, who were they paying off to keep it all under wraps? These are the questions everyone is demanding answers to. And as the investigation unfolds, there's no telling who else is going to get caught in this web of deception. While the Christies are facing intense legal pressure, their public image is being shredded. Remember, these were once beloved figures in the entertainment world. Doug Christie, the man who made a name for himself as a bounty hunter, was once seen as a hero by many. But now, let's just say the public isn't exactly on his side anymore. The tide has turned, and it's not looking good for him. The media has descended on him like a pack of wolves, and the public is lapping it up. The exposure has been nothing short of brutal. Every move he makes is now under a microscope, and no matter where he goes or what he does, it seems like he can't escape the fallout. In fact, fans who once cheered for him are now turning their backs. Social media has been flooded with angry comments, memes, and mockery. Fans are calling him out for his role in this massive scandal, accusing him of betraying their trust. What's even more shocking is that some of his former allies have started to flip. Former business partners, colleagues, and even family members are now allegedly cooperating with authorities. And guess who's at the center of it all? Doug Christie. The question now is, who will be the next person to rat him out? It's an all-out scramble for survival, but it's not just his career that's at risk here. Doug Christie's freedom is now on the line. As the legal system tightens its grip around him, the possibility of him spending decades behind bars is becoming more and more real. While his lawyers are doing their best to negotiate some sort of deal, the evidence is stacking up against him at an alarming rate. It's hard to see how he can avoid jail time at this point. The case against him is getting stronger with each passing day, but the plot thickens even further. With the Christie's empire on the brink of collapse, rumors are swirling that the government is looking to make an example out of them. This could turn into a high-profile case that sends shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond. Other celebrities and business figures who've had questionable dealings with the Christies are now reportedly nervously watching this case unfold. Could this lead to a domino effect? Could more high-profile names get dragged into the mess? The possibility of other celebrities or business moguls being involved has the public on edge. And let's talk about the internal family drama that's been bubbling under the surface for years. There have been long-standing rumors of tension between Doug and Jackie Christie, and now, with everything coming to light, those rumors seem to have some truth to them. Family members are reportedly feuding, with some distancing themselves from the scandal while others appear fully engaged in the mess. One thing is for sure, the Christie family is not as unified as they once appeared. The arrest has shattered their once picture-perfect image, and now, they're facing a public meltdown that no one could have predicted. But here's the twist. While it seems like everything is falling apart for the Christies, there are those who believe they're far from finished. Some sources close to the couple have hinted at the possibility of a comeback in the future. They believe that, given time and the right legal strategies, Doug and Jackie Christie could somehow emerge from this scandal unscathed. Is this just wishful thinking, or could they pull off a shocking reversal of fortune? Let's not forget the speculation swirling around the Christies' finances. While Doug Christie's arrest was a huge blow to their empire, many believe that Jackie Christie has been the true mastermind behind much of the couple's financial dealings. In fact, some sources claim she may have been involved in even darker activities than we've been led to believe. With the media scrutiny intensifying, it's only a matter of time before Jackie Christie's own secrets start to unravel. Could she be the one to face even more serious charges than her husband? It's certainly not out of the question. Meanwhile, as the Christies try to salvage whatever is left of their reputation, rumors are swirling that the media is already lining up a tell-all documentary about the scandal. Could this be their attempt at a last-ditch effort to maintain some semblance of fame? It's not unheard of for celebrities to turn scandals into profit, but given the severity of the charges against them, it's hard to imagine anyone would want to buy into their story at this point. Actions. The public may be too unforgiving, and their reputation might be beyond repair. Now let's talk about the consequences beyond the Christies themselves. The entire entertainment industry is watching this case unfold with bated breath. Celebrities, producers, agents, and others who may have had business dealings with the Christies are reportedly shaken. The exposure of this scandal has the potential to bring down other players in the industry who may have been complicit in some of Doug Christie's more illegal activities. In the coming weeks, we may see even more bombshells drop as the investigation continues. Could other big names be implicated? Only time will tell. As we stand on the precipice of what could be a game-changing moment in celebrity culture, one thing is for certain: the fallout from this scandal is far from over. Whether it's legal repercussions, financial ruin, or personal destruction, the Christies are about to face consequences far beyond what they could have ever imagined. Stay tuned as this story continues to evolve. Will the Christies go down in flames, or will they manage to salvage something from the wreckage? Whatever happens next, we'll be here to break it all down for you. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on the unfolding chaos, because trust me, the best is yet to come. And there you have it, the shocking rise and fall of Doug Christie and the Christie Empire. But what do you think? Is this the end of the road for them, or is there still a chance for a dramatic comeback? Will Jackie Christie manage to escape the fallout, or will the truth catch up to her too? The story is far from over, and we're only scratching the surface. We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below with your predictions on what's going to happen next. Do you believe the Christies will face the music, or find a way out of this mess? Is Doug Christie really guilty, or is he just a pawn in a bigger game? The drama is just heating up, and we know you're as invested as we are. Make sure to like this video if you were as shocked as we were by everything that's come to light. Share it with your friends, because this is a story you won't want to miss, so they can join the conversation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more breaking news, juicy scandals, and the wildest celebrity drama. Trust us, you won't want to miss what comes next. You're not going to get this kind of inside scoop anywhere else. Hit the bell icon too, so you'll be the first to know when we drop the next big story. Stay tuned because the chaos is only getting started. And remember, the truth is out there, but we're the ones exposing it. Keep watching, keep commenting, and we'll keep delivering the drama.